Protagonist 1. He works a pretty normal job in sales, earns an average salary that's enough to cover rent and bills without worry for him and his girlfriend. They've been together for about a year now and are saving up to buy their first house. A proper house, but life's tough, so that isn't happening anytime soon. Protagonist 2. She's a freelance graphic designer and works mostly from home, but recently she's hit a bit of a rough patch. She's been stuck in a depressive mood for a few weeks now and it traps her in bed, exhausts her too much to do anything, so she's thinking about going to therapy. Scene 5. After seeing him leave the dishes in the sink unwashed, she lashes out and vents all of her repressed emotions at him, and it leads to a fight. Alright, got it. Now let's write this scene. Damn it. I'm not the only one who finds dialogue hard to write, right? It's not just me. I have all these rich emotions and backstory and personality sitting in our outline, and I've shown it through their action and the prose, sure, but the dialogue it's just not right. So how do you apply show don't tell to dialogue? Man, I hate that phrase. How do you get characters to show what they mean by saying what they mean without letting them tell what they mean? In the show don't tell video, I said that show don't tell actually means writing the effect of the subtext, whether that be a fight scene or a monster death or whatever, is causing. So, how does an overwhelming amount of emotion befitting the climax of a story affect the way we talk? Like, let's say we got a phone call out of nowhere from a friend telling us that our dad is about to die.
They're doing chest compressions.
What does that do to us? What does that say about our character? Rome assures his dad that he's going to be okay by saying,
"Because you're a monster, and you're gonna win. Because you just win."
Because in Rome's weakest, most vulnerable moment, what he clings on to is the image of his dad as the killer, unstoppable businessman that he's aspired to be his whole life. But yet, he can't bring himself to appreciate the killer, unstoppable businessman. He's the only one who didn't manage to say the "I love you" to his dad one last time, and passes the phone to Kendall.
No, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. I can't. Your turn.
The things your character chooses to talk about in these dire moments reveals the things that they hold closest to their hearts, as well as the things that they don't, whether intentionally or not. It gives you a clear depiction of their heart's priorities. Kendall manages to say "I love you" at least, but even now he's still unable to forgive him, and feels he needs to say that aloud.
Even though you fuckhead. I don't know.
I can't forgive you.
Out of the three Roy kids, he seems the most composed, speaking full sentences, minimal stuttering and double backing, and crying the least. It's almost like he's strong enough to keep himself composed. No, it's more like he's so numb to being hurt and betrayed and stepped on by his dad that his death doesn't even hurt him much anymore. The degree in which your character gets destabilized by these extreme situations often shows their resistance. The ability to keep cool head in stressful times, and maybe even lead, is the trait that heroes and leader characters often have. But the dark side to resilience is apathy, because it's either you're strong enough to take the pain, or you're numb to it. In grittier, darker stories like Attack on Titan or Arcane, there's honestly no clear difference between the two. Shiv breaks into tears immediately. She calls Logan daddy like a little girl, and like Kendall, also expresses her grievances against Logan.
Daddy? I love you. Don't go, please, not now. No, I love you, you fucking... God, I don't, there's no excuses for being...
She also asks Tom, her ex-husband, over and over and over and over again whether Logan is okay.
Tom? Tom?
Hey.
Is he even alive?
I don't know, honey.
Are you just being nice to me? Is he gone?
It's clear what she's really asking for from Tom. Support. Like what your character chooses to talk about, the people they choose to lean on reveals who their heart finds important. Even after an ugly divorce, Shiv still runs to Tom for support. There's still a part of her that still loves him, and Tom still calls her honey, but there's a part of him that still loves her too. Earlier I asked, how do things affect the way we talk instead of what we talk about? Because dialogue is an action too. That also involves decisions your character actively makes from word to word. That's the effect that all these things have on our dialogue. Okay, back to our script. Protagonist 1. He's probably too tired to handle her ridiculous venting, so he'll try to shut it down and call her out. He'll see through it and encourage to talk about what's really on her chest. This shows how much he cares about her, and that he knows how to communicate. She's depressed, so she's not in the best state of mind right now. All she's thinking of is the ugly thoughts of guilt and shame and self-loathing. If you know, you know. That'll come out in her words in more ways than one. And with these two things combined, they'll probably get into an argument. That's quite different from the monologues the Roy kids had with Logan. So, how do you write that? First, and this might sound a little weird, we gotta treat the relationship between our characters as a character itself. Because if you really break it down, they operate under the same process. The relationship is a character that has traits and mannerisms which come from some backstory, and it is expressed through the interactions between the two characters. If the relationship is developing and growing stronger, or in other words, character chemistry, then it will be expressed through positive interactions that shows trust and cooperation, like Aang and his friends coming to trust Zuko over Season 3. But if the relationship is weakening and breaking down, you might express that through arguments. And since that's what we're going to be doing in this scene, let's focus on that for this video. Also because people have already made videos on writing character chemistry. Arguments stem from conflicts that the characters have left unresolved from who knows how long ago. And like all good writers,
every Chekhov's gun will be fired against the brains of every character. No one will be left untraumatized in the hands of your god. Your pain will be immortalized and read by generations of readers for entertainment. I created you, and I will destroy.
We need to tie off these loose ends. That's why the big arguments typically happen at the climax, or before it. We can borrow the point I made a minute ago and apply it to our third character, the relationship. Jimmy started this fight by thinking that Kim doesn't believe him, and quoting a line that the Kettlemans said to him all the way back in Season 1.
You think I'm some kind of lowlife, some kind of asshole. What kind of lawyer guilty people hire, right?
This shows that their relationship already lacks trust, which stems from Jimmy's insecurity about never being able to rise above his pathetic beginnings as Slippin' Jimmy. Then he brings up the office that they've never shared together.
But somehow in your mind, the only measure of my feelings for you is some office?
Yeah, I'm good enough to live with, to sleep with, but God forbid you should have an office with me.
What are you I just told you
get
that...
a little bored with your life, so you come down and roll around in the dirt. Have some fun with Slippin' Jimmy.
Oh, is it fun? Fun like lying to the ADA to get your friend out of the shitter? Or fun like standing there with a smile plastered on my face while you play infantile mind games on my law partner?
Oh, what a mistake it was to take me up to your office in the sky!
And then Kim just scoffs and walks away, leaving the conflict as unresolved as it first was. This shows that they haven't really communicated anything, and hence the dysfunction underneath continues. The thing that starts an argument, keeps it going, and stops it all contributes to the character that is their relationship. And on top of that, arguments give you the unique opportunity to allow your characters to show things about each other, on top of themselves, especially if they already know a lot of things about each other to begin with. It's essentially killing two birds with one stone, allowing you to pack so much more subtext into one scene. Okay, back to our script. He definitely knows that she's depressed. They live together, and as I've said earlier, he'll see right through it. So when she goes off complaining about the dishes in the kitchen being a mess, he can tell what she's really talking about, and he'll respond to that instead of meaningless shouting surrounding it. And once she breaks out of that depressive fog, she'll realize how ridiculous and unfair she's being. And unlike Jimmy and Kim, these two know how to communicate and resolve this conflict, instead of leaving it to rot in the background. So, let's put all this together. And okay, I think we got it. Let's do this. Hey Maia, you want to come give me a hand?
Do the dishes.
Later, I'm tired.
When is later?
I don't know, like 5 minutes?
5? What are you even waiting for?
I'm resting.
Oh, great. So it's all up to me to keep this house from becoming a landfill, as usual.
Chill with me and we can wash the dishes later, together.
Why do you always wait forever to do things until it's too late?
Too late for what? What's gonna happen if I don't wash the dishes right now?
God, you're such a slob. How do you live like this?
And you can't leave the dishes dirty for even a second without freaking out. How do you live like that?
I just want to keep the kitchen clean, like it's supposed to be. Is that so bad? Why am I always the one cleaning everything?
Okay, now you're just making stuff up. I washed the dishes yesterday. And also, not to mention, I even cooked everything because you said you were tired.
Oh, so I'm crazy.
Only if you keep this up.
And I'm a useless idiot who can't keep her own kitchen clean despite staying home all day.
No, you're not. Why don't you wash the dishes yourself if it bothers you so much?
I just don't have the energy to do anything right now. Can't you just help me for once?
So we're both tired. Why don't we just rest for a bit and then do it together later?
Okay, fine. Guess we'll just watch TV, leaving the kitchen in a complete mess.
Yeah, sure.
So what, you're just gonna be so useless you can't even keep your own kitchen clean like a normal, sane person? What is wrong with you?
I think normal, sane people have messy kitchens too. They just don't beat themselves up over it.
Oh, then what? They're okay with being in a complete mess?
Yeah, they watch TV for a bit and then they clean it up later because they're tired, and normal, sane people rest.
I'm terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been in bed all day. I don't know why. The kitchen is supposed to be clean, and I can't even do that. I am so sick of this. I'm sorry. I'll do the dishes myself. You're right, it's my turn.
Hey, no, we'll do it together. It's okay. Next time, if you just need to talk, just talk.
Okay, sorry.
So, what's up?